Hey guys, Itaewon Sammy, welcome back to a new love story. And this is going to be a special love story. It's my love story. Yep, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it is my love story, and this is a true story 100%. The names have been changed to protect the innocent, but I'm going to talk about a lot of people have asked. And I really want to thank everybody who's watching, liking, commenting. I really appreciate it. I mean, a lot of people are commenting on some of the videos I'm making, like specifically about life here in Korea. There's a lot of vloggers out there who are talking about how to be a teacher, how to be a this, how to be a that. I'm a little bit different. I'm an expat living here. And next week, what is it? Yeah, in a week, I'll be here 12 years. Wow. 12 years since I got here, and I'm living life. What else can I say? So, thank you everyone for please liking and subscribing, commenting, sending me questions and things like that, or just saying thank you. I really do appreciate it. It makes the work, not work, but it makes me feel better. Thank you very much, and please stay safe, okay? All right, so let's just jump into this. Fix the volume on that. All right, hold on. Here we go. All right, so love story. I'm just going to title it Love Story, okay? My love story. So I'm looking at my notes here because this happened. Today is June. This will go out June 6th, okay? So this happened June 2nd, 2018. So that will be 3 years ago. Yeah, it started 3 years ago. And 3 years ago, I was working at the club. My club, B1. And those of you that don't know or new to the channel or what have you, my job was a VIP host. So what I did, I was a salaried employee. I did not get paid by the person. I did not get commission on tables or anything like that. My job was pure marketing. My job was purely to be the person between the ownership and management and the customer. Bartenders, floor staff, they're too busy doing their jobs. Managers are too busy managing. My job is to massage the clients, for example. Calling all of my friends, telling them to come to the club. That's the number one job, okay? That's the number one thing. Secondly, is to identify those people who I think would benefit the club and become their friends and invite them to come back without lining up or guest list or things like that. Buy them a drink and have a good time. And then it is to make sure that the people who are coming are having a fun time. So if I see them, maybe I'll introduce them to some friends. It's not the Korean style of booking, okay? I don't do that. What I do is I take like-minded people who I know are having a good time and introduce them together so that let's all hang out. Not come and join my friends. Hey, let's all have a drink together. Oh, this is my friend here. This is my friend here. Let's all hang out. So I facilitate a happy event, like happy times. When you go out, you want to meet people. You want to have fun. Not necessarily hook up or anything like that, but you want to like hang out with people and just dance or talk or whatever it is, right? So that's what I did. Anyway, that was my job. What that meant was I would be outside the club at the front door, just outside of the front door. So if anybody knows B1, you have the main door, and then we have these like two queues. Lineups. One lineup is for the regular lineup and one lineup is for the VIP lineup. And I had a little podium, a little like lectern type thing. And I would stand behind that, and it said VIP entrance, right? So that was where I would stand. And I would stand there pretty well all night. And the way I ran my club was I did not have a guest list. And the front door and security were told from day one that I worked there, anyone who comes up and says, I'm a guest of Sam's, okay, are told to step to the side and text me to come up and get them in. There were a few that were allowed straight through. There are some super VIP guests, and those guests were known to my staff, so that was okay. But in general, everyone had to text me, and I trained them in that. I taught them how to do that. Oh, you want to get in? Text me before you arrive so I can be upstairs and to greet you and take you in. Now, there's two reasons I do that. Number one is to make them feel special. If they just line up and they have to go in and say, my name is this, and then look on a guest list and blah, 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 it makes them feel better, and it moves the line quicker, right? So that people can get in the club, and the entrance to our club was a tight space. So it was very difficult to get people through there. Anyway, the second thing was that I want to know who is coming to the club. If you're texting me that you're coming, I have a record, time and date. And then in my mind, I will keep a record of who is this person, how many people did they come, did they buy anything, did they have a good time, blah, blah, blah. It's not very difficult to remember. So that's twofold. And mostly it was to have an impression that these people, you are important, you're getting greeted at the front door, you're being welcomed with open arms and loud, hey, hi, how are you? And everybody sees that in the lineup. And it's all about image, right? In this business. So I would take them downstairs, welcome, let's have a drink, let's hang out, blah, blah, blah. And then I would go back upstairs. So except for greeting guests and being downstairs, having a drink or what have you, or walking around the club just to take a look and see how things are going, because I am the eyes and ears of the management. Just a quick step back. I didn't report to anyone. I mean, obviously the general manager of the club and the owners, but they didn't really have a job for me. Like, Sam, do this, or Sam, I need to talk to you about this. No, I came in, I did my job, I went home. I didn't report to anyone. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to say anything. I was just informed about what the upcoming promotions were. Right? And if I needed a table or booking a table, I would communicate that to my team to set that up, right? So that's what I did. So I'm always at the front door. Now, you would think that somebody who is in marketing, whose job it is to be a social butterfly and to talk to people and to be, in this business, you would remember people's names and faces and things like that. And unfortunately, I'm not very good at that. I'll remember a face, but sometimes the names will escape me. A little bit of it has to do with my memory, and a lot has to do with the volume of people who come through. I'm doing 200 to 300 people a night. That's a lot to remember. So yeah, I lose track sometimes. Anyway, I'm standing at the front door, and the reason I would do that is that if foreigners walk by, because we're on the main road, if foreigners walk by, they see a foreign face, they're more apt to come up and ask questions about getting into the club, and I can try to upsell them and do what it is that I do to promote the club. Anyway, I'm standing at the front door of the club, and I will see foreigners walking by, tourists. I can tell who's a tourist and who's a worker here in Korea or military. And again, just so you guys know, some of you who are new to the channel, I've been doing this in Korea, except for the last, obviously, year. I was doing that. I worked at B1 for 3 years, and I worked at Houseming for 2 years, and then I worked in Hongdae for 2 years. So what is that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years in Korea. So I built a pretty big, repertoire of people or stable of people, and that includes famous rappers. Sorry about that, stretching my leg. Famous musicians, artists, movie stars, and political figures. I have a huge embassy staff first ministers, ambassadors. Well, we would have ambassadors coming, and the security detail would show up and say, Sam, we're here. You need to clear an area, blah, blah, blah. And, because they won't tell me in advance. They'll just show up 10 minutes before for security reasons. And it's happened many, many times. And we've had movie stars, K-pop stars, all those. Now, we don't talk about it. We didn't advertise it, but it happened. Anyway, so my job is to stand at the front door and smile at people and try to entice them to come into the club. And on June 2nd, was it June 2nd? Let's go back to the photo because the photo has the date on it. And where is it here? Here we go. June 2nd, 2018, 3:35 a.m. That's the information I have here. It's the timestamp on the photograph. Now, I'm not going to show you the photograph because I'm going to maintain the privacy of this person. We'll call her Miss A. And I'm staying at the front door. It's probably 11 or 12 at night. And I see her and two of her female friends walk up to the door and smile at me. They're kind of hesitant and they smiled and I smiled back. And she looked at me like she knew me. And not to be rude, I pretended to know her, which I didn't. Turns out I didn't know her. And I'll tell you why she smiled at me in part 2. Stay tuned. That story is coming up next week. Itaewon Sammy, I'm out.